Hey, this is Lucinda Cross, the founder of Activate and the new author of The Road to Redemption. I'm going to make this real quick, but I've had to share this interview that I've had. I had brunch with a prostitute, and here are 4 tips that I want to share with you, because there's something that she possesses that many of the mentees and clients that I coach on a day-to-day, for some reason, they do not grasp in their mindset that they do not value what they're worth. They're afraid to step out of their shell and do what God has called them to do. And in no way am I comparing your gifts, talents, skills, and abilities to what a prostitute does. And prostitution is illegal. I do not endorse it. I do not recommend anybody does. They sell their body. I do believe we are a vessel from God. But to get to the points and the tips, because knowledge is everywhere, I do believe that you should listen to these next 4 tips. If you're dignified and conservative, you can stop the recording right now. But for those who would like to hear it, let me share with you real quick. Number 1, standing out from the crowd. She mentioned that it's so important to stand out from the crowd. In no way will you see one prostitute on the same street. You'll see many of them. But how can you stand out from the crowd in your own industry and your own niche? Don't be afraid to get in the crowd in order to stand out. Get in the mix, but show your uniqueness when you're inside. Having a clear message, tip number 2. Regardless of what you're selling, no matter how necessary it is, it doesn't even matter how passionate you are about it. You have to have a clear message. You have to figure out what makes your customers, your members, your followers happy, and use that same message that appealed to them, that grabbed their eye and their attention, so that you can get more of the like-minded individuals within your circle. Tip number 2, what is in it for them? Everyone wants to know what's in it for me. You have to be clear about that as well. Tell people what they are investing in. She said that she doesn't say you get sex for money. It's illegal anyway, but she doesn't say you get sex for money. But I would tell you, they tell you exactly what they're willing to do. Keywords, exactly what they're willing to do, the amount of time they're going to spend with you, and the cost that it will be. So look at your 3 most valuable assets: your time, your attention, and your resources. Tell them exactly what you're willing to do, how much time you're going to spend, and then tell them what the investment is, because you have value. You're bringing value to the table. And the last tip number 4, upsell, and then resell. Upsell, and then resell. You want to turn customers into loyal clients. It's easier to just add value to your existing products or services. Whatever it is that you're doing, you have to become like Burger King, McDonald's, Popeyes. Before you finish your order, they're already willing to supersize your meal. They're willing to, if you add $2 more, you can get a drumstick along with that. So think about how you can upsell, and resell at the same time. Are these not valuable tips that you can use to step out and conquer this fearless factor and conquer this it factor? Get over yourself and be bold? Well, yes, unfortunately, they're in an illegal business, but they're doing things that we need to incorporate. Why are we afraid to step out and stand out in the crowd? Why are we afraid to charge what we feel that we're worth? Why are we afraid to tell people what they will get from us? Tell them what they get from you. Here's a great book. And I had her as a client, a fabulous client, love to work with her, Sydney Biddle Barrows. And yes, she was the Mayflower Madam in New York, and it was a whole case around it. But she turned her life around. She connected with a fabulous man, Dan Kennedy. I know many of you have heard from him. But she talks about the gift for sales, having the gift for sales. And she includes lots of selling strategies in this uncensored sales strategy book. And it's a phenomenal book. I highly recommend that you get it. Go to Amazon right now and get your copy. If you have a problem with charging what you're worth, setting your prices, coming up with unconventional ways to put yourself out there and standing out from the crowd, get her book. And then I want you to give me a call or send me an email so that we can stay in contact and we can work on this factor, this it factor that you have, because you've got it. You just got to show it. You've got to flaunt it. You've got to put it out there. Let people know what you bring to the table. As always, God bless and activate.